when seconds count. We're walking through what happens and what has to happen the moment a stroke is suspected. Because when it's a stroke, every minute truly matters. Let's start with the basics. An ischemic stroke is a sudden loss of brain function caused by a disruption in blood flow. You might still hear people call it a CVA, cerebrovascular accident, or even a brain attack, which honestly isn't a bad comparison. It's a medical emergency that needs the same urgency you'd give a heart attack. And that urgency isn't just a figure of speech, it's science. The longer the brain goes without oxygen, the more brain tissue is permanently lost. We now have FDA-approved clot-busting drugs like TPA, but they work best if given within 3 hours of symptom onset. In some cases, we can stretch that window to 4.5 hours, but only if the patient meets strict criteria. That's why fast recognition and action are everything. Not all ischemic strokes look the same. There are 5 main subtypes, and understanding the differences helps us think through causes and treatments. 1. Large artery thrombotic strokes account for about 20%. These happen when atherosclerotic plaque in a major artery ruptures and forms a clot right at the site. 2. Small artery thrombotic strokes, often called lacunar strokes, make up 25%. These occur deep within the brain, where tiny vessels get blocked off. 3. Then we have cardioembolic strokes, about 20%, which come from the heart. Atrial fibrillation is the most common culprit, but valve disease or a clot sitting in the left ventricle can also be to blame. 4. Cryptogenic strokes, a fancy way of saying we don't know the cause, make up about 30% of cases, even after extensive workups. 5. And finally, there's a small other category, strokes triggered by things like cocaine use, hypercoagulable states, arterial dissection, or severe vasospasm. Before we move on, let's talk about something we've been seeing more of since 2020, COVID-related strokes. COVID can make the blood hypercoagulable, meaning it clots more than it should. This is often marked by elevated D-dimer levels. In younger patients, especially those under 50, we've seen COVID trigger large vessel strokes with devastating consequences. These strokes often come out of nowhere and leave significant deficits. So yes, it's still something we watch closely, even post-pandemic. Now, sometimes the body sends out a warning shot. We call these transient ischemic attacks, or TIAs. TIAs are short-lived. Symptoms usually resolve in under an hour and always within 24, and they don't leave damage on imaging. But don't be fooled. They are not harmless. Patients who've had a TIA have up to a 15% chance of having a full stroke within the next 90 days, most within the first 48 hours. That's why any TIA deserves a full workup, risk stratification, and serious follow-up. Let's move into the clinical presentation, what you're actually going to see, or what family members might describe. A patient having an acute stroke may suddenly develop numbness or weakness, often on one side, slurred or confused speech, visual loss, blurred, dimmed, or completely gone, dizziness, poor balance, or trouble walking, a sudden severe headache, especially if the stroke turns out to be hemorrhagic. These symptoms aren't subtle. They come on fast, which is why one of the most important questions you'll ask is, when was the patient last seen well? That time point anchors everything we do next. While you're assessing those symptoms, don't forget the basics. Check the airway. If the gag or cough reflex is gone, that patient is at high risk for aspiration. Watch their breathing. Irregular or labored patterns may mean the brainstem is involved. Now look at their face. Is there facial droop? Can they lift both arms, or does one drift down? Ask them to repeat a sentence. Is the speech slurred or just completely off? These are quick tools, but they're powerful. If you suspect stroke, do not wait. Activate your stroke alert or stroke code immediately. The faster you activate, the faster imaging can happen. And the faster we can intervene if TPA or a thrombectomy is an option. If EMS is bringing in the patient, they'll often notify the hospital in advance. This gives the stroke team time to prepare and meet the patient at the door. Every hospital's protocol is a little different, but the goals are the same. CT scan within 25 minutes of arrival, stroke team evaluation immediately after, decision on treatment within the golden window. So in that first 5 minutes, time, assessment, communication, that's the job. And that's your first dose of stroke management. In Part B, we'll talk about what's happening behind the scenes at the cellular level and how that ischemic cascade can destroy the brain if we don't act fast enough.